Now, the employer of the truck driver involved in the Boksburg gas tanker explosion says they are deeply saddened at the loss of life. As I mentioned, 26 people had lost their lives. That number, sadly, is expected to rise as several people are still missing. The company saying an internal investigation has cleared the driver of any wrongdoing. It says the driver did all the necessary checks and tried his best to alert onlookers about the danger. Now, speaking of the driver, the 32-year-old was arrested but has been released due to a lack of evidence. Arnoux Maré from the Innovative Staffing Solutions joins us this afternoon, or this evening rather. Good evening to you, Arnoux. Hello, good to have you with us as well. And I suppose many questions are going to be asked when it comes to an internal investigation. How was the driver cleared when we were left with such a disaster and a mess to talk about?
Well, look, we are still busy with the investigation. What our investigation has shown to this point is that the driver followed every procedure that he was supposed to follow. He was obviously qualified to do the job and transfer those goods. He did contact his controller when the truck actually got stuck. He did check the height of the bridge versus the height of the truck. And he did set up safety barriers and so forth in terms of legislation and what his job description was when this happened. It's a very tragic story, and I know that there's a lot of emotions running high, but we also want to give out true facts instead of speculation at the end of the day. That's why we are busy with such an intensive investigation at the moment.
And I think many people would expect nothing less from the organisation. So I appreciate your time. But help me understand, because I'm getting a little bit lost. How is it that all checks were done, yet the truck still got stuck under a bridge? Surely it can't be both. Either the checks were done or the driver got stuck with the truck. It can't be both.
It is much more complicated like that, but I'll try and explain, and hopefully it makes more sense then. The driver was on an approved route. Unfortunately, he missed a turn-off that he was supposed to take and then corrected by taking the next turn-off to get back onto the correct route. There was, as far as we can ascertain, and these are still under investigation, no warning signs of a low-hanging bridge on the way to the bridge. He then got to the bridge. He made an assessment whether the bridge was high enough to pass the truck underneath. He did do that assessment. He found that the horse could fit under the truck, and he was correct in assuming that. The horse did go into the truck. He found that the trailer would be able to pass through the bridge. He was correct in that finding as well. The problem is, and I think this is where it becomes a bit more technical, and it comes down to the incline, or the decline and the incline going through the bridge. So the height of the bridge, by the time the truck goes down into underneath the bridge and starts an incline at the other side of the bridge, unfortunately lifted the height of the truck, and only the back of the trailer actually scraped against the bridge. So the driver made an assessment, and his initial assessment was correct. What is more important than that assessment is what the driver did after that. When the driver heard that the bridge, or that there was a scraping sound, as he explained it to us, he immediately stopped the truck. He got out, he inspected the front of the truck. He then proceeded to inspect the back of the truck and saw that there was the bridge caught on one of the hatches at the back of the trailer. He immediately started immediately called his controller, stated that there was a problem and there's a potential gas leakage. He then set up a safety barrier. He was assisted by a security car that stopped there. The driver asked the security personnel to please set up a barrier behind the truck while he was busy setting up a barrier in front of the truck. After setting up the barrier in the front of the truck, he actually went to inspect the barrier at the back of the truck, found that it was too close to the truck, and actually moved the barrier back. At this stage, people started coming closer. A vehicle actually drove in under the truck, and due to the gas leakage, the engine of the vehicle, we suspect, died, and the vehicle was stranded. The driver assisted the people in the vehicle, and also at that time, crowds were starting to come closer to the truck. We had the fortune of being able to speak to a witness that confirmed that the driver was warning everybody that it's a dangerous situation. And at this stage, no fire had actually started yet. The driver continued to try and get people to move away from the truck, and also reported that cars actually went past his safety barrier that he put up, and he stopped the cars and asked them to please make a U-turn. The driver continued with this until he basically started getting the effects of gas inhalation. And he continued warning people that they should move away until he actually lost consciousness. A fire started about 30 minutes after the truck actually got stranded. Now, it's very important to just pause here for a moment and understand that the fact that the truck scraped on the bridge did not cause the explosion, it caused a gas leakage.
So what you're saying is, Arnoux, is the driver, forgive me, the driver had done everything that he could in a case like this. Forgive me for cutting in. I wanted to get a right of reply from you. Forgive me for cutting you short. I'll tell you why I've done it. I wouldn't do it flippantly, but I need to move across to this memorial that is being held in Boksburg. But Arnoux Maré from Innovating Staffing Solutions, I appreciate your time in joining us this evening. Let's go across to that moment of silence.
He will be with him, Father God. He will comfort him, Lord. He will strengthen him, Lord. Yes, Father God. We love him so much. We need to share with us people, Father God. This is your holy name. Yahweh, Yahweh.
Thank you, Father, that you're a Father of compassion and a God of comfort. You are a Father. And Lord, you know every person, you know every heartache. And Father, I pray for supernatural peace and the God of comfort that will just come and meet every single person at the level they are at, Father, and that you will comfort their hearts in a way that nobody else can comfort, Father, and bring them a supernatural peace, Father. Thank you that you are still good, Lord Jesus. And Lord, thank you for your Spirit, the Spirit of comfort that will rest upon every single person here tonight. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Guys, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Are you going to say a word or two as well? Fantastic. So you're going to introduce?
Yes, hi all. My name.
Well, we would have just heard a moment's silence there before members of the community and EMS and all of those safety officials speaking to the community after this tragedy of 26 people losing their lives. This is near the scene of where the Boksburg explosion was. I think we are going to leave this in a small box in the corner. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to Arnoux Maré from the Innovative Staffing Solutions Organization. Arnoux, you're still with me, I believe. My apologies for breaking away from you. Let me come back to you. I want you to try and finish your thought. And while you were explaining what the driver was doing, and you are right, the driver, as you say, was alerting those in the area to get away from the truck. It still comes down to the question, though, if all the procedures were followed, how did it end up getting stuck? Because many people are not going to believe that. If everything was done, it shouldn't have gotten stuck, yet it did.
Of course, I mean, like I said previously, there's a lot of emotional feelings when it comes to this. We have read reports that a lot of trucks actually get stuck under that bridge. How true that is, we can't comment on, but we've seen reports of that on social media, and we are still busy investigating that. I think the fact of the decline that goes straight into an incline would be able to lead even the most experienced of drivers array at that stage. The driver acted responsibly because he did not make a U-turn in an area where he was not supposed to make a U-turn.
Yeah.
He did a judgment call and tried to go underneath a bridge, and he assessed the situation before actually doing
Arnoux,
that.
I'm going to ask you to stay with me once again because I want to get your thoughts on what happens to the driver next. I just want to dip into those who are singing over at the moment of silence. Arnoux, stay with me. I'll be with you now. Arnoux Maré, let me come back to you again. Apologies for me cutting you out for the second time this evening. Arnoux Maré from Innovative Staffing Solutions. I wanted to hear the prayers going out to victims. And I don't want to get stuck on the technical of this, Arnoux. I think you've made your point on that. Let me ask you this. You can see, I'm sure, if not on your screen, I'm sure you'll see later, the number of people coming out, the families devastated, the livelihoods lost, and the families who will no longer get their loved ones back. What do you say to those people out there singing at a moment of silence and a memorial this evening? What's your message to them?
Well, look, as a person, as a human being, my heart goes out to this. I'm a family man myself, and I think it's devastating. Any situation like this is devastating. And there's no words to explain or to rectify loss of a loved one. I think that is the normal. I can't see any normal way of explaining that and saying anything that can make anybody feel better. But what I can say from our side is we are working around the clock to ensure that we can at least give some answers that are not speculation. I think what would be worse for people that actually lost loved ones and got injured is if speculation takes over and the true facts are not revealed. That's why we have employed an independent investigation team. We as a company might be assisting them with facts and procedures and all of the technical sides around it, but they are doing an investigation because we also want to be sure that everything is done correctly. My heart goes out to these people, and I'm sure every citizen in South Africa's heart goes out to these people. Yeah. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy that happened. Why it happened, nobody will ever probably be able to say or explain in a way that will make these people feel any relief with the happenings of this event. At this moment, as much as we feel for these people and we want these people to have answers, we are working around the clock to ensure that we can at least give facts. I'm sure that will also be an important part of closure at the end of the day.
It certainly will. I hope it certainly does in the end. Arnoux, thank you for coming on and joining us this evening. Arnoux Maré from Innovative Staffing Solutions joining us this evening talking about this tragedy. As you can see bottom right of your screen, it must be difficult to describe the kind of sadness and anger and emotion that these people are feeling at the moment. This is eNCA. These are live visuals from Boksburg. It is the loved ones, it is the families, it is those left behind from the Boksburg tragedy.